David and Jonathan. The bitch. Did she really say that, Wimsey?
Her parting words.
Farron and I are old and close friends. Or at least we were until he married that awful woman. She stifled his talent, sucked him dry, made him second-rate. I wasn't free to speak my mind. He wouldn't hear a word against her. And she hated my guts.
Jealousy, of course. Some women can't stand a friendship between men that excludes them in any way.
And Gilda Farron is one of them.
So, what happened on Monday night?
Farron rang me at home. He was drunk and making all sorts of idiotic threats against Campbell.
Like murder?
No, not murder. Mayhem, perhaps. He's the devil of a temper. So I thought I'd better go after him.
Why didn't you take your car?
No petrol. It was too late to get any more. Anyway, I toured the pubs he usually goes to, and he'd been in all of them on the warpath against Campbell. And then I had an idea. When he wants to get away from things, he goes up to the old mine at Foul Bay and broods. And there he was, sitting on an old heap of winding gear. I argued with him, but it was no use. He was in a foul temper, and suddenly lashed out at me with his fist.
Hence the black eye.
Yes, and he was off like a shot. And I started after him, but it was getting darker all the time. And a minute later, I fell into that bloody shaft.
Have you heard from him since?
No. But if you want to know, I'm worried sick.
Come on, Strachan. I'll give you a lift home.
I'll tell you this, Wimsey. One of these days, you'll go too far, and somebody will murder you.
Do you know, I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised.
Oh, no. I can't believe it. The blithering London fools. Yon's not Mr. Gowan. You brought the wrong man.
Well, I just managed to catch Campbell one glancing blow with that spanner, and then he grabbed me, and of course I was no match for that great gorilla. And when he produced that frightful cutthroat razor, I swear to you, Inspector, I was quite certain he meant to cut my throat.
I think we can guess what happened then, Mr. Gowan. For we found a handful of black beard by the roadside.
Oh, Alcock, he was an absolute brick. It was his idea that I should stay undercover in the house until I was fit to be smuggled to London. Oh, of course, that's when the trouble all started. Oh, poor wee Betty. I must have seemed like a vampire rising from the grave.
I think we know your movements after that, Mr. Gowan. But what made you come forward once you were in London?
Well, it wasn't until after I arrived there that I actually discovered that he had been murdered when I read it in the paper.
You already knew he was dead?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Alcock told me he was killed in an accident the day after.
Did Alcock mention I had called to see him?
No, not a word. Well, I mean, he knew that I couldn't possibly have murdered Campbell myself.
Oh, no.
And, well, I suppose he felt it was his duty to protect me from any further unpleasantness. Oh, he is an excellent man. He won't get into trouble, will he?
That is a matter for the Chief Constable to decide.
Inspector Macpherson, have I got to stay in Kirkcudbright?
It'll be a help, Mr. Gowan.
Morning to you. Landlord in? Thank you.
I'm afraid, ladies, I am not at liberty to disclose his lordship's destination. Or, for that matter, the reason for his journey. Suffice it to say that he is, in the language of modern fiction, following a lead.
Poppycock. If you ask me, he's just gallivanting.
Precisely, Margaret. Deserted his post while on active service. Unpardonable. Particularly as we need his advice so urgently just now.
Advice, miss?
Well, yes. You don't think it was just idle curiosity that brought us here, do you?
No, no, of course not, miss. Anything but. Could I be of some help during his lordship's absence?
Well, perhaps if we explained the situation, Margaret, don't you think that Bunter might be able to give us a few small pointers?
Oh, you're probably right, dear. You see, Bunter, we've just found out that unfortunate wretch Campbell had no close relations.
And you know as well as we do he hadn't a friend in the world.
Except perhaps Gilda Farron.
So after a lot of heart searching, we decided to take it upon ourselves. We went and called on dear Sir Maxwell Jimison.
An old friend, always very helpful. Well, he told us that there would be no difficulty in releasing the body, so everything's fixed, you see.
Releasing the body, miss?
Exactly. So we were able to go ahead at once. You understand, Bunter?
No. I'm afraid I'm completely in the dark. For what purpose do you require the late victim's body, Miss Cochran?
Oh, what an extraordinary question for the funeral, of course, you stupid man. We've arranged for Mr. Campbell to be buried at the Presbyterian Church tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, naturally, the simplest ceremony. But we do feel your master should be present.
Oh, yes. Yes, you're quite right, Miss Helby. But you mentioned advice, Miss Cochran.
Yes, it's a question of ethics, really, particularly as we shan't be able to attend the ceremony. It's not considered proper for women to be present at funerals in Scotland, you see.
No, not that we, for one moment, subscribe to such outmoded shibboleths. No, as far as we are concerned, Bunter, the sexes are equal.
Quite so. And a very good point, if I may say so.
As you are doubtless aware, Bunter, it is customary for the deceased's relatives to provide some sort of wee refreshment after the service.
The sherry, Madeira cake and so on. Now, as the organisers of the funeral, we feel that we should provide the food and drink.
But where? That's the question, Bunter. Where?
Well, as you know, Bunter, since the murder, the police have kept Campbell's cottage locked up. Would it be in order, then, for us to invite the mourners to our home?
Or should we take a room in one of the local hotels for the occasion?
Or do nothing about it at all? Well, you see what a difficult decision it is to make, Bunter.
I do indeed, ladies. Yes. Perhaps under the melancholy circumstances surrounding the death of the late Mr. Campbell, the best plan would be to do without the funeral baked meats, as it were.
Precisely my feeling, Bunter. I knew we could rely upon you for a sensible decision.
Thank you, miss.
You know we're to take a tour of the Highlands shortly?
Yes, I had heard, and I was hoping to have a word with you before you left because I was going to ask you if you'd be so good as to give my kindest regards to Miss Betty.
Oh, Betty's just getting over a very severe shock, Bunter. I don't think we should upset her anymore.
Of course we shall give her your message, Bunter. And she asked particularly to be remembered to you most fondly.
Hey, just a minute. Come in.
Hello there, Sergeant. Nice to meet you. The name's Clarence Gordon. It's about the Campbell murder.
Oh, please take a seat, Mr. Gordon. I'll just get a pen.
The wife was saying there was a police message in the wireless night before last, asking if anyone travelling by the Bagrenin Road on Tuesday morning happened to see a cyclist.
Well, that's perfectly correct, Mr. Gordon. Did you see one?
Well, I wouldn't be here if I hadn't, eh?
extravagant with the flake white, aren't we?
Wimsey! By all that's holy... How the devil did you find me?
Well, if you will go around the countryside leaving a trail of newly painted pub signs behind you, it ain't exactly difficult.
Statement dated 25th October 1931. My name is Clarence Gordon. I'm a commercial traveller for the firm of Moss & Gordon, Glasgow.
That's correct, Sergeant. Moss and Gordon. Dealers in high-class ladies' wear. Dresses, hosiery, lingerie. Have a nice UV light, incidentally, that would be sure to interest a smart, pretty lassie like you.
For the firm of Moss & Gordon, Glasgow. I travel the Kirkcudbright
Excellent.
district on alternate Mondays and return on the Tuesday morning by the Bargrennan Road to Girvan, where I have a good many customers. Last Tuesday, I passed through Bar Hill at 10:20. I remember seeing the train go out of the station just before I got there.
Yes, that's how I knew the time, you see.
As I left the village, I saw a bicyclist in a grey suit riding very fast along the road in front of me. I sounded my horn loudly, and he pulled into the side just as I passed him. I could not see his face properly, and when I looked back in my driving mirror, he had disappeared. He was the only bicyclist I saw on the road until I reached Girvan.
Yes, now they come in all sizes and a wide selection of shades.
Have you anything further to add, Mr. Gordon?
No, that covers it completely,
Well,
Sergeant.
I know you couldn't see his face, but was there anything at all to remind you of one of these gentlemen?
Nothing, sorry, Sergeant.
Oh, it's all right, sir. We're greatly obliged for your trouble. Now, would you just sign the statement here, please?
You must be a married man, eh, Sergeant? Could interest you in a nice wee inexpensive present for the wife. Or do a nice line in you-know-what.
Anyway, after I'd socked poor old Henry, I started running. I don't know how long for. In the end, I lost my footing. I remember rolling downhill, and that's about all I do remember until I woke up in the morning in a wee hollow full of bracken, quite snug and cosy. I felt great.
No hangover?
Not a thing. I had a bit of a thirst, but I soon quenched that at the first burn I came to. Now, I can't tell you how good I felt. I didn't give a hang about Campbell anymore. I certainly didn't want to go home. So I just walked straight ahead. I walked for hours. Now, finally, a fellow in a lorry came along, gave me a lift into New Galloway.
What time was that?
Oh, I must have been getting on for 3. Then I wondered what to do about myself. My one idea was that I didn't want to go back. I wanted to go on being a gypsy. How on earth can I explain to you what I felt? It was as if I was free. I mean, really free for the first time. As if I'd suddenly escaped from something terribly oppressive. And the one thing I dreaded was being put in the bag again. I can't possibly make you understand.
You're not doing badly at all.
No, but you're rich, Wimsey. There's nothing to stop you doing exactly what you want. Now, why do you take the trouble to be respectable?
Precisely because there's nothing to stop me doing exactly as I want. I get my fun out of it.
I know you do. Now, it's odd. You create an illusion of liberty. Is it the money or just being unmarried?
Yes, well, we're rather straying from the point, aren't we? You had just arrived in New Galloway.
Oh, then I had an incredible piece of luck. An Englishman in a Riley stopped to ask the way, and I said to him if he took me with him, I'd show him all the shortcuts as far as the border. Well, he was delighted. So we took supper in a pub on the way, drove through the night, and had breakfast in Carlisle. That's where I bought these paints.
Windsor and Newton. Had you formed any plans by then?
Oh, not really. Just thought I'd let things unfold. Anyway, my chum in the Riley finally dropped me in Ascombe. I went along to the Bull and I wrote to Gilda. I didn't put an address.
Postmark.
Yes, of course. But do you really mean to say she persuaded you to come trundling after me?
Well, I wouldn't put it quite like that.
Can't really blame the poor thing. It was rather a beastly letter.
Farron, on Monday night you went round looking for Campbell, uttering threats against his life.
No, I was drunk.
From the moment you hit Strachan, you have no alibi of any kind.
Alibi?
And as Campbell was murdered, you're going to need one very badly.
I am the resurrection and the life, saith the Lord. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. For as much as it hath pleased Almighty God to take unto himself the soul of our brother here departed, we therefore commit his body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, in sure and certain hope of the resurrection to eternal life through our Lord Jesus Christ. The grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the communion of the Holy Spirit be with you all. Amen.
6 suspects, 1 murderer, 5 red herrings.
Well, it's not Gowan, it's not Ferguson, it's not Waters, and it's not Graham, so that leaves Strachan and Farron.
As plain as a pikestaff, it must be Farron. A, the motive. B, we know he went searching for Campbell. And C, he can give no good account of his movements over the relevant period.
Nor can Strachan.
Aye, but Strachan came back. Farron ran away.
Why not Ferguson?
Man, what do you say?
Wimsey, we know that's not possible.
Look, Inspector, do you have Clarence Gordon's statement there?
My lord, Ferguson took the 7:50 bus and caught the 8:30 train from Gatehouse. Reliable witnesses at the station substantiate his story.
Well, for the sake of an argument, suppose that Ferguson didn't catch the 8:30. He couldn't possibly have dumped Campbell's body and caught the only alternative train, the one from Bar Hill via Girvan.
And we know that nobody went from Bar Hill.
We can't rule out Ferguson, you know. By Jove, we can't.
Oh, come now, my lord.
Can you give one good reason for this strange conviction?
I can give you 2, but I don't think you'll find either of them as convincing as I do. I'll tell you what. Let me have a shot at proving it.
How will you set about doing that?
Reconstruct the crime. We could start tonight. Look, Inspector, would you be kind enough to go to Ferguson and ask him for his help? Tell him that we want to use Campbell's cottage exactly as it was on the actual night. I don't see how he can very well refuse.
Now, look here, Inspector. When I agreed to participate in this business, I had no idea it meant staying up half the night staring at your back. I mean, when does your blessed chief constable intend to show himself? It's gone midnight.
Oh, not quite, Mr. Ferguson. There are still 2 minutes to go.
Very well. 2 minutes too. And absolutely nothing has happened. I think it's dashed inconsiderate of him. I've had a hard day, I'm tired, and I would like to go to bed.
I'm certain at any minute now, sir.
Are you still sure?
I'm on duty.
Duty. Honestly, Macpherson, what on earth do you hope to prove by this charade, hmm?
Well...
I'll bet you one thing, though. This is none of your local lot's doing. I'll give you 10 to 1 that idiot Wimsey's behind this. He's the one who's talked the Kirkcudbright Constabulary into playing at Scotland Yard.
Oh, that'll be his lordship now.
Evening, Ferguson. Very kind of you to cooperate. Only too glad to help. Wish I knew what it was all about, though. But we're trying to find out who Campbell's midnight visitor was. It seems pretty certain that he'll have been our murderer. Anyway, we'll go about our business. Macpherson will stay with you, and if we go wrong, you can prompt us, what? Yes.
Quod erat demonstrandum, Macpherson.
Right, we're still off duty, so make yourselves comfortable while you have the chance. We have a long 12 hours ahead of us. Well, now, first of all, we don't even know where Campbell was actually killed. All we do know is enough about him to guess that there was a row and a fight. We also know that he owned a bicycle as well as a car, and that bicycle has been missing since the day of the crime. Incidentally, have you replaced it, Sergeant Deal?
My lord, I borrowed Wally Mudrick's old crock. It's out in the garage now.
And what about his painting paraphernalia and hat and cloak?
Well, I stowed all that out in the garage, too.
Stout fella. Now, at this stage, Sir Maxwell, it is my guess that our activity may be worrying Ferguson a bit. If he has a guilty conscience, he may feel a bit unnerved at being left in the dark. So I have a feeling that he may ask to come along with us tomorrow morning, and if he does, well, I think we should let him.
Very well, Wimsey. It's 4 minutes past midnight. And you've been asleep in your bed for nearly 2 hours. Would you mind at least sitting on the bed, Mr. Ferguson? And here comes our murderer. And that's the knock that wakes you. It's not much of a sound. You're a light sleeper, Mr. Ferguson.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Now, Campbell's letting him in. He enters. The door closes. And that's that.
What do you mean, that's that?
Oh, you can go to your bed now, Mr. Ferguson.
But I understood
Oh,
that
that's all right, sir. We won't be needing you anymore. Pleasant dreams, Mr. Ferguson.
Bang. You're dead, Bunter.
Very good, my lord.
Ah, hello. Come in, Inspector. How is he?
He's a wee bit nervous, perhaps.
Yes, I was rather hoping he might be. Well, as you see, I have just killed Campbell.
What with, my lord?
Ah, I wish I knew. But that don't matter at the moment.
Aren't you afraid that Ferguson might try to decamp?
He'd be a fool if he does. But you're quite right, Sir Maxwell. Better not take any chances.
Sergeant, you and the constable take it in turns.
Very good, Inspector.
Now, listen. I have had a scrap with Campbell. He is dead, and I am stuck with the corpse. A very sticky position. But no panic, because luckily I know he plans going up to the Minnock painting in the morning. The perfect place to stage an accident. It won't be easy, however, because somehow I have got to get myself to Glasgow, which is going to mean an early start. So, idea. I will use Campbell's car, and I will put Campbell's body into the dicky. Now, if you just talk amongst yourselves for the moment, I won't be a second. The coast's clear. I have opened the garage doors and ditto the dicky. So, up you get, Bunter. And off we go. Right, down you go. Comfortable, Bunter?
Tolerably so, my lord.
Splendid. One painting bag. And one canvas. Now, my plan requires a bicycle. And as we all know, Campbell obligingly possessed one. That seems a fair fit, but I don't want it to be seen. So, we need a rug. And here is the very thing. But first of all, we'll put the easel on top with the end sticking out, which will give it a nice, realistic touch. Wrap it all up like a Christmas parcel. And there we have it. Voila. Thank you, Bunter.
and out you come. In she goes. And that's it.
Now, I have just remembered that Farron is on the warpath for Campbell. He may come back. Don't want him nosing about. So, close garage doors. Lock 'em. And pocket the key. Let's go inside now, shall we? So, would you like to brew up some tea, Bunter? If you can find a clean pot or six.
Very good, my lord.
Well, I'm sorry to be doing all the talking, but it can't be helped. There's not a great deal more. Well, now, sit down, gentlemen. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Well, now, at this stage, assuming that Campbell was killed in here and assuming that Ferguson was responsible, I think that he would now lock up and return to his own place. He then have got a lot of thinking and planning to do. First of all, there's this business of getting himself to Glasgow after staging the accident. Now, he has told his friends that he intends driving to Dumfries to catch the 7:35, which, of course, now is clearly impossible. So he will need a pretty convincing reason for not doing it. So, thinks, as Felix used to say in one of those convenient little bubbles, the car won't start. Something wrong with the magneto. So he removes the mag, and he packs it in his overnight bag that he is taking to Glasgow. He can create the fault in the armature winding himself and leave the thing to be repaired in Glasgow. It'll all help his alibi. Well, having settled that, he spends the next hour studying a road map in conjunction with a bus and a railway timetable. I noticed that he had all three of them in his studio, by the way. He then rests. He wouldn't dare to sleep. Well, he probably couldn't, even if he wanted to. But he makes sure that his bed looks as though it's been slept in, so that Mrs. Green, who chars for both him and Campbell, won't notice anything out of the ordinary. At 5 a.m., he is back in here, and he does the same to Campbell's bed. He then brews a pot of tea, cooks himself a breakfast of bacon and eggs, eats it, and leaves the whole thing for Mrs. Doings to clear away afterwards. He then packs the car, as I have already demonstrated, and drives off with the body.
Is he wearing Campbell's hat and cloak?
Yes, he is. You're a bright lad.
And where does he leave the car?
Well, that will be demonstrated, Sir Maxwell. Incidentally, on this first run, I shan't force Bunter into the dicky. He is going to suffer enough later on.
Morning, Ferguson.
I say, you're up bright and early.
Not really. You threatened to keep me up half the night, so I got a couple of hours sleep in before McPherson showed up.
Oh, I see. Yes, I'm sorry about that. I thought we needed to disturb you more than we did.
Doesn't matter a bit. When's the balloon go up?
Hmm?
I mean, when does the reconstruction of the crime start?
It's already started.
May I come along for the ride?
Good Lord. Do you really want to?
Well, in a sense, you've involved me. And, fascinated to know how these things are done.
In that case, my dear chap, you are more than welcome.
Thank you very much.
All stead your faces?
Yes, indeed. Bunter's done us proud.
Splendid. Well, it's first light and time to move. Bunter, you ride with me.
Very good, my lord.
And I suggest that the rest of you follow in the police car. Incidentally, you have an extra passenger, Sir Maxwell.
Ferguson.
He's asked if he can come with us. Thank you, Bunter. I'm pretty sure that this is where our murderer parked Campbell's car. It's well hidden and it's nice and close to Gatehouse Station. As the ground's soft up there, there are some pretty convincing tar marks, aren't there, Bunter?
Yes. Yes, indeed, my lord.
Oh, what now? Well, now I walk a brisk 6 miles back to where we started.
But that's absurd.
Why?
Because I saw Campbell drive off just after 7:30.
So you did. Feel like a walk, Inspector?
Well,
Well, I've got to do it, and I'd enjoy a bit of company.
very well, my lord.
Splendid. You stay here, Bunter. See the rest of you back at the cottages. Quarter to 8. Well, now, you, Ferguson, had your breakfast by now, and you said good morning to Mrs. Green, who is at this moment clearing up at Campbell's place. And you're all set with your overnight bag to catch the bus, due in 5 minutes, to take you to Gatehouse Station, where you will catch the train to Glasgow. Now, I am going to be you for the moment, if you don't mind. Into the car, please, gentlemen, and turn round. Now, Sir Maxwell, I would like you and the inspector to come and see me off. One first-class return to Glasgow, please. There we are. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, goodbye, Sir Maxwell. Goodbye, Inspector. Thank you so much for having me. Do keep in touch.
You can't
seriously
the gutty wee devil! Come on, sir.
It's the oldest dodge in the whole bag of tricks.
In at one side and out the other.
That's the way he went. Right, Inspector, back to the car.
Sergeant? Next stop, the Minnock, sir. I have Bunter safely stowed away. But the roads are bad, my tyres are worn, and I can't afford a puncture. So I shall proceed with caution.
We'll be right behind you, Wimsey.
Right, that's enough painting time. Case clear. Now for the disposal of the body. Right up, you get, Bunter. We're cutting it a bit fine. Over you go, Bunter. Only please don't. Your ordeal is now over.
I'm delighted to hear it, my lord.
9:13. If I ride like the devil, I can just catch the 10:18 from Bar Hill. Good man. Hang on to this for a jiffy, would you? I made it. The station is down the side road there, and the 10:18 is due in 2 minutes.
But nobody caught the 1018 from Bar Hill. You've proved nothing, my lord.
Well, now, this is where I'm going to have to guess. Something went wrong, Ferguson. This was the train that you intended to take. In fact, your whole plan depended on it, and yet you missed it by the skin of your teeth. It's a stopping train as far as Girvan, and with only a bicycle, you hadn't got a hope in hell of catching us after it had left Bar Hill. After Girvan, of course, it's an express, and you'd have been in Glasgow in plenty of time to establish your alibi. You must have been pretty desperate. And it was desperation that made you ride on in the face of all odds. Which is exactly what I intend to do now.
Who's the fellow up ahead?
Our friend Clarence Gordon. But you stick with me, Sir Maxwell.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. Give me 3 minutes start.
Right. Oh, your lordship, my card, in case you should require any ladies' wear.
Oh. Well, you never know.
And when I looked in the driving mirror, he had disappeared. Very neat.
plenty of time, sir. Dear laddie, label this bicycle to Glasgow.
That's all right, don't bother, don't bother. I'm not going on the train.
But I thought,
Now, I want you to think very carefully, Porter. Do you remember another gentleman with a bicycle taking this same train last Tuesday week?
I know you mention it. I seem to mind a bike.
Campbell got back when I said he did, but he didn't go into his own place. He barged in here. He was in one of his filthy, drunk, aggressive moods. And when he started bragging about what he'd done to poor Gowan, I'd had enough. I told him to clear off. He wouldn't go. I opened the door and gave him an almighty shove. He crashed against the wall there and came back, fighting like a maniac. Well, I'm stronger than I look. And besides, he was none too steady on his pins. I landed one good punch to the jaw. Too good. He hit his head on the stove there as he fell. He just lay there. And when I went to pick him up, I found he was dead. Well, I was scared. I never could stomach the fellow. And sometimes when I've had a few, I've threatened to do him in. Or not meaning it for a second, but I've been hurt to threaten him. And here he was, dead on my floor, and not a single witness to back up my story. So, I tried to make it look like an accident.
Very nearly succeeded.
But how did you come to miss the train at Bar Hill?
Well, that was my big mistake. Once Campbell was dead, I had a lot of planning to do. And the one thing that I forgot to do was to wind my watch. When I was up at the Minnoch faking the painting, I checked the time. It said 8:55. There seemed no hurry, so I went on working. And about 10, 20 minutes later, I checked again. It still said 8:55. And I knew my watch had stopped. And that's when the panic really set in. I booted the body over the cliff and packed up as if the devil was after me. It was no good. I missed the train by a hair's breadth. Oh, you were quite right, Wimsey. Desperation drove me on. And then I had that incredible bit of luck when the fellow in the Humber passed me. Well, it seemed like incredible luck at the time because it made my alibi that much better.
On the face of it, you couldn't possibly have caught that train from Gowan.
No, there was only the one possibility, and you spotted it. You have a long head on your shoulders for all your blether. But in fact, you suspected me from the first time you came to see me. Why?
You buy your pence from Robeson's.
And?
Campbell bought his from Winsor & Newton. I noticed a half-pound tube of Winsor & Newton flake white amongst your own. I also spotted that you had a habit of slipping tubes of paint into your pocket while you were working. You'd obviously done just that with Campbell's flake white when you were painting the forgery.
Obviously. Damn careless of me.
There's just one thing that I didn't follow, though. What happened to the bicycle?
Simple. When I got to Glasgow, I had it forwarded to Euston. It's still there, waiting to be collected. Well, Sir Maxwell, you must do what you have to do. But it wasn't murder. I swear to you, it wasn't murder.
The weather holds fair, Bunter, and we still have 2 weeks in hand.
Yes, my lord. Most satisfactory.
From now on, I intend to catch mammoth trout, while you will doubtless perpetrate more masterpieces.
I shall do my humble best. However, I must say I can't help feeling a certain sympathy for Mr. Ferguson.
Yes, I second that remark. He had rotten luck.
How does your lordship foresee the outcome?
Gentlemen of the jury, you have heard evidence of the character of the deceased, of his habitual drunkenness and savage temper.
You have heard how, on the day of his death, he drove a golf ball at almost point-blank range at the witness Jock Graham. An action which might well have had fatal consequences. You have heard how, in the presence of the club committee, he threatened both the witnesses Strachan and Gowan with actual bodily harm if they chanced to cross his path again. And of how that same evening he entered into violent argument with the witness Michael Waters, threw whiskey in his face, and fought him in the bar. You've heard also of the far more monstrous attack upon the person of Matthew Gowan, an act of unspeakable barbarity which must stir in every one of us the deepest revulsion, not to mention his most questionable advances towards the wife of the witness, Hugh Farren. In the light of what you have heard, is there a single one amongst you who would dare to return a verdict of guilty against the accused, John Ferguson? I say with absolute confidence that there is not. And, of course, they won't. It'll be self-defense or justifiable homicide.
I'm delighted to hear it, my lord.
So am I, Bunter. Ferguson's a good egg. It was his misfortune to suffer from a rotten neighbor.